Cortez, you were obviously on a national champion, and some people said, why would a guy leave a national champ? What drew you to LSU? What was the appeal for you?
Well, first it comes to the rich tradition that this program has. And also with Coach Kelly, just his experience and the way he's been able to turn programs around into winning championship contending programs, I think that's what really made this opportunity attractive. And also his ability to develop and promote coaches, especially offensive coaches, and help them grow to be offensive coordinators as well as head coaches. Now, I can't leave out the fact that this is home, and when you're a young kid growing up in the inner city of New Orleans and playing at Helaire Park in North, this is an exciting opportunity, and it feels good to be back home and to recruit kids in this state.
Because you might have one of the only rooms that's got depth on the offensive side, on the team maybe. Just talk about your room and top level talent that you have, and then developing the guys, the rest of the guys to come meet them.
Well, the good thing is I had an opportunity to recruit a lot of these guys, when I was at the previous university. And it is an extremely talented group. We do have some depth, but at the same token, we're always going to have room for growth and room to get better. The good thing as an offensive staff, this is an opportunity to get a fresh set of eyes on all of these guys. And we're going to use the spring as a continuous evaluation process. And when you do that, you're able to create competition and allow these guys to continue to grow and develop.
Kayshawn obviously is going to get all the talk, so let's just get your initial thoughts on him and the kind of guy he is and maybe what he can bring to a football team.
Well, when you look at the tape last year and just the things that he was able to do vertically and also after he got the ball in the hands was pretty good. He's an extremely talented individual, and as you know, he was working coming off of an injury from last year, and it's a daily process. So, we'll see how that goes as we continue to move forward.
What's his mobility now?
Hey, it's a daily working process.
I've heard LSU fans talk about this being a dream team in terms of recruiting with you and Frank and now Napoleon as well. I mean, can you speak about how you guys are going to attack the state and other places in terms of talent?
Well, first and foremost, it's always going to be about cultivating relationships. And then when you have relationships that were previously bonded, I think it does help. People will reach out to you and let you know, hey, you may want to kick under this rock because they got a kid over here. And when you're from a place, it just means just a little bit more. And for us, we all take a very hungry and humble approach to recruiting because we're always trying to get better. And so when you have that definitely helps to building the depth of this football team and put you in a position to be the perennial contenders that this place should be.
You were on the North playground. Who were your heroes?
Wow, man, you're gonna take me back. The first person that I met in terms of being NFL players was Aeneas Williams, and he played right over here at Southern, and we grew up in the same neighborhood. So to be in this position, going from playing at Helaire Park to now coaching at LSU, it's like a dream. I'm thankful for everything that's happened in between. It's really how I'm grateful for it, and I feel like I've been able to make the sacrifice of my parents count. Because without them, I wouldn't be in this position.
Cortez, when you're breaking down film recruiting, what are you looking for in a receiver specifically? Is there certain things that you're looking for when watching film, or is it just body type, body style?
Well, with any football player, for me, it's going to always be about the competitive toughness. And because when you play in this conference, you got to have that part of yourself. Another thing is being from the state of Louisiana, for whatever reason, we just have, like that edge about ourselves. And, when a kid has that, I think it's going to give them a chance. Now, when you're talking about the receiver position, you're always looking for guys that can make plays with the ball in their hand, also guys that's going to go up and make the competitive catches. Speed, ability to separate at the top of routes will always be a part of it. But I think the redeeming qualities and talk about being competitive, embracing coaching, because that's always going to allow them to continue to develop. And also, how much do they love the game of football?
How much do you like or emphasize blocking? When I think about the great ones here, Clayton, Lamar even, they were physical when they downfield for other guys.
Yeah, so when you talk about standards and expectations, one of the things that we've discussed already, just in meeting with those guys, is ball security and what that means. And ball security means playing fast without the ball, protecting the ball carrier. And that's when those 4 or 5 yard runs turn into explosive runs, where those, 3-step slants turn into 77, 80 yard touchdowns. Is because guys are willing to be selfless and transition to be blockers on a perimeter to go ahead and spring those guys to make those big plays. And so for us, we're going to have a dominant mindset. So it's not about just winning the one-on-one in the pass game, but it's also about winning the one-on-one physically with the guy that's in front of you.
Is it the biggest transition from high school to college for guys? Because I can't imagine it's a big part of high school games.
It's something, one thing that I've learned as a coach is they always say you get what you emphasize. And so when you emphasize it, it becomes a part of who you are, it becomes a part of your mindset, it's embedded in your DNA. And that's something that we're definitely going to do.
Over the years, we've seen the New Orleans area specifically, there was a time when they would go all over the country. There was a time when LSU kind of had their hooks, and there have been some times recently where some of the best talent has left the state and gone other places. How big of a challenge is that going to be if this staff's really going to be successful the way they want to be?
Well, it's always going to be a challenge because you got great places to play everywhere. But at the end of the day, our main goal is to take care of home and do everything in our power to cultivate the relationships and to make sure that the young men in this state know that it means something to play for LSU. And the feeling is mutual because it means something when these kids stay home. We want to make sure that they know they're going to have people in the building that care about them, care about their development as people, as students, and want to make sure they get everything that they can out of playing this game of football.
Thank you.
We're good?
Thank you.
Thank you.